Doctor's advice: 6 nutrition tips to effectively break type 2 diabetes in just 1 month. Type 2 diabetes is an increasingly common condition, and the key point is that most cases are not caused by genetics but primarily by lifestyle, especially poor dietary habits. When we frequently consume fast-digesting starches, sweets, or processed foods, the body is forced to produce large amounts of insulin to process the sugar. Insulin acts as a key that unlocks the door for sugar to move from the bloodstream into cells to generate energy. However, if the body is constantly overworked, cells gradually become desensitized and stop responding effectively to insulin. This condition is known as insulin resistance. At this point, even though the pancreas tries to produce more insulin, sugar cannot enter the cells and remains in the bloodstream. As a result, blood sugar levels rise, and the pancreas becomes increasingly exhausted. Think of it this way. Initially, 1 cup of coffee is enough to keep you alert. But if you drink too much every day, your body gets used to it, and 1 cup no longer works. You need 2 or 3 to feel the effect. Insulin in type 2 diabetes works similarly. At first, a small amount is enough to let sugar into the cells. Over time, however, the key of insulin becomes less effective, forcing the pancreas to produce more, yet with diminishing results. This creates a dangerous cycle that leads to chronically high blood sugar. If dietary and lifestyle changes are not made in time, the pancreas will weaken, blood sugar will spiral out of control, and diabetes complications will emerge. Upon hearing the word diabetes, many people feel anxious, even viewing it as a lifelong sentence with no way out. However, modern science has proven a crucial truth. Type 2 diabetes is not a closed door to hope. By making the right changes to nutrition and lifestyle, you can absolutely break this disease in a short period. The good news is that these solutions are not difficult, complex, or overly restrictive. They lie in simple yet powerful tips. Today I'll share 6 special nutrition tips that doctors have confirmed can stabilize and even reverse type 2 diabetes in just 1 month of application. Tip 1. Eat in the right order during meals. This may sound simple, but it is incredibly important for people with type 2 diabetes. In a typical meal, many people have the habit of immediately eating rice or starches, then pairing them with vegetables and protein. This eating pattern causes sugar from starches to quickly enter the bloodstream, spiking blood sugar levels within 15 to 30 minutes. The pancreas is then forced to release a large amount of insulin to handle it. If this happens repeatedly over time, the pancreas becomes fatigued, cells grow more resistant to insulin, and diabetes worsens. The correct principle is to eat vegetables first, then protein, and finally starches. Why? First, green vegetables and fiber-rich roots or fruits are high in fiber. Fiber is not quickly digested. It forms a lining in the stomach and small intestine, acting like a net that traps sugar, preventing it from being rapidly absorbed into the blood. This slows the rise in blood sugar. Second, eating protein from fish, meat, eggs, or tofu after vegetables further slows digestion, promotes longer satiety, and reduces cravings. By the time you eat starches, rice, noodles, pho, or potatoes, your body already has a barrier of fiber and protein to regulate absorption. For example, imagine a meal with boiled greens, braised fish, and white rice. If you start with the rice, the sugar is released into the blood immediately, causing a sharp spike in blood sugar, like a steep upward line. But if you eat the greens first, then the fish, and finally the rice, blood sugar rises only slightly, resembling a gentle, manageable slope. This has been proven in numerous studies. A Japanese study published in Diabetes Care showed that people with diabetes who ate vegetables and protein before starches had post-meal blood sugar levels up to 30% lower than those who ate in the reverse order. This principle isn't just beneficial for people with diabetes, it also helps healthy individuals prevent the disease. When blood sugar doesn't spike excessively, the body doesn't need to release large amounts of insulin, reducing the risk of abdominal fat accumulation, obesity, and metabolic syndrome. This offers a dual benefit, protecting the pancreas and maintaining a healthy weight. The best part? Eating in the right order is not complicated. You don't need to give up your favorite foods or follow strict restrictions. Just rearrange the order of your meal. With consistent daily practice, within a few weeks you'll feel lighter, your blood sugar will stabilize, and your overall health will noticeably improve. This proves that sometimes a small habit can lead to profound changes. Tip 2. Start with a vegetarian appetizer before the main meal. When your stomach is empty, consuming starches like rice, noodles, or bread is like pouring fuel onto a fire. The sugar from starches is quickly broken down and absorbed into the bloodstream, causing a sudden blood sugar spike. This places a heavy burden on the pancreas, forcing it to release a massive amount of insulin to lower blood sugar. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance, making diabetes harder to control. In contrast, starting with a small portion of vegetables, such as a handful of fresh greens, a few slices of refreshing cucumber, some mildly tangy tomatoes, or a bowl of vinegar-dressed salad, provides valuable fiber. Fiber not only promotes a natural feeling of fullness, but also acts as a shield in the stomach and small intestine. This barrier slows the breakdown and absorption of starches eaten afterward, allowing sugar to enter the bloodstream gradually rather than in a rush, keeping blood sugar stable. This isn't just theory. A 2019 study published in Diabetes Care showed that just 5 grams of fiber from vegetables eaten before a meal can reduce post-meal blood sugar by up to 27%. This demonstrates that a small portion of vegetables can act like a sturdy fortress, protecting the body from dangerous blood sugar spikes. Adding a touch of apple cider vinegar or rice vinegar to the salad enhances this effect even further. The acetic acid in vinegar slows the breakdown of starches, further reducing the speed at which sugar enters the blood. Picture it like this. Eating rice on an empty stomach causes blood sugar to surge like a car accelerating at full speed. But starting with vegetables or a vinegar-dressed salad blocks the starches, allowing sugar to enter the blood at a controlled, gentle pace. This prevents the pancreas from being overworked, provides steady energy, and keeps you fuller for longer, reducing the urge to snack. A small bowl of greens, a few cucumber slices, or a splash of vinegar in your meal can be the golden secret to preventing diabetes complications and living healthier every day. Tip 3. Have a proper savory breakfast. Many people overlook this, especially those accustomed to starting the day with a bowl of pho, a white bread sandwich, or a steaming plate of noodles. While these are tasty and convenient, they are loaded with fast-digesting starches. After a long night, the body is most sensitive to sugar, so consuming a large amount of starches causes blood sugar to spike rapidly, like a car speeding down a hill without brakes. This not only overworks the pancreas, but also leads to lethargy, quick hunger, and cravings for snacks throughout the day. In contrast, choosing a breakfast rich in protein, healthy fats, and greens makes a significant difference. Blood sugar rises slowly and steadily, like a car cruising safely at a consistent speed. Protein from eggs, fish, tofu, or nuts provides sustained energy, supports muscle strength, and reduces cravings for sweets. Healthy fats from fatty fish, avocados, or nuts offer long-lasting energy and protect heart health, a critical factor for people with diabetes. Greens in the morning act as a buffer, slowing the absorption of starches and minimizing blood sugar fluctuations. This has been clearly proven by science. A 2020 Japanese study found that reducing starch intake by half at breakfast and replacing it with protein-rich foods and healthy fats led to significantly stabilized blood sugar levels after just 2 weeks. The HbA1c index, a measure of long-term blood sugar control, also improved. Moreover, those who followed a savory breakfast felt more energized, less fatigued, and found it easier to maintain a healthy weight. For example, instead of a white bread sandwich with pate, opt for boiled eggs, steamed fish, a few walnuts or almonds, and a slice of whole grain bread. Or try a breakfast of steamed tofu, boiled greens, and a bit of salmon. These meals not only keep blood sugar safely rising, but also provide long-lasting fullness, enough energy to power through the morning without low blood sugar or sugar cravings. A proper savory breakfast is like a safety brake, preventing erratic blood sugar swings and helping you start the day strong and healthy. Tip 4. Eat slowly, chew thoroughly, and divide meals. This is a principle many know, but few consistently follow. The modern habit of eating quickly and swallowing hurriedly puts the body under unnecessary stress. When you eat too fast, starches and sugars flood the bloodstream in a short time, forcing the pancreas to work overtime, releasing large amounts of insulin to handle it, like putting out a raging fire in just minutes. This causes blood sugar to spike and then drop suddenly, leading to fatigue, lethargy, and cravings for sweets afterward. In contrast, eating slowly, chewing thoroughly, and extending meals to about 20 minutes allows digestion to occur more smoothly. Starches are broken down into simple sugars gradually, entering the blood slowly, like droplets instead of a rushing torrent. The body has enough time to process, the pancreas isn't overworked, and blood sugar rises gently and stays stable. Additionally, thorough chewing allows the stomach and brain to signal fullness, helping you avoid overeating without strict restrictions. This is a simple yet effective secret to controlling both weight and blood sugar. Beyond how you eat, how you divide meals also matters. Instead of cramming all your food into 2 or 3 large meals, try splitting them into 4 or 5 smaller ones. Eating less each time, but spreading intake evenly ensures the body receives steady energy, avoiding the extremes of too full or too hungry. This is like letting the heart work gently and continuously, rather than bearing heavy loads a few times, far more sustainable. A Swedish study demonstrated this clearly. A group of type 2 diabetes patients instructed to eat 5 small meals a day saw significant reductions in HbA1c, the marker of long-term blood sugar control, after just 12 weeks. They also felt healthier, experienced fewer sudden hunger pangs, and craved sweets less compared to those eating 3 large meals. This tip is neither complex nor costly. It only requires patience and a conscious effort to change habits. At each meal, take time to savor every bite, chew thoroughly, and enjoy the flavors. Instead of eating a lot at once, distribute food sensibly throughout the day. This is a simple yet solid way to keep blood sugar in check, protect the pancreas, and maintain long-term health. Tip 5. Use natural vinegar to control blood sugar. Using natural vinegar is a small but incredibly effective trick for health, especially for those living with type 2 diabetes. Many think of vinegar as just a seasoning, but modern science has shown it can be a powerful nutritional therapy for blood sugar control. The key lies in acetic acid, found in apple cider vinegar, fermented rice vinegar, or other natural vinegars. Acetic acid has 2 major effects. First, it slows the breakdown of starches into sugar in the digestive system. Second, it makes cells more sensitive to insulin, allowing them to open the door for sugar to enter from the bloodstream, countering insulin resistance. In other words, vinegar acts like a regulator in the gut, ensuring sugar from starches enters the blood gradually, avoiding strain on the pancreas and cardiovascular system. International studies back this up. A report in the Journal of Functional Foods found that drinking 2 tablespoons of diluted apple cider vinegar before a meal can reduce post-meal blood sugar by up to 34%. This is significant, as even a 10% reduction is meaningful for diabetes control. Another Japanese study showed that fermented rice vinegar improves insulin sensitivity in type 2 diabetes patients, reducing the risk of cardiovascular and neurological complications. The beauty of natural vinegar is that it's affordable, widely available, and generally safe when used correctly. You can start by adding a few drops of apple cider vinegar to a vegetable salad, drizzling rice vinegar on boiled greens, or diluting a tablespoon of vinegar in warm water to drink before meals. These small habits are like giving your body a safe, natural dose of medicine, protecting the pancreas from overwork. The key is consistency and proper use. Never drink undiluted vinegar, as it can harm the stomach. Always dilute it or combine it with food. Also, choose naturally fermented vinegars over industrial ones to ensure nutritional value and safety. By making this small change, adding a few drops of vinegar daily, you build a strong defense, stabilizing blood sugar, easing the pancreas's burden, and paving the way for a healthier, more sustainable life. It's a simple trick anyone can apply at the family dinner table. Tip 6. Eat fruit the right way. Eating fruit correctly may seem simple, but it plays a critical role in controlling blood sugar for people with type 2 diabetes. Many make serious mistakes here. Some, fearing blood sugar spikes, completely eliminate fruit from their diet, depriving themselves of essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants needed for immunity and heart health. Others treat fruit as a carefree snack, eating sweet varieties like ripe mangoes, jackfruit, or sugary juice whenever they crave it. This causes uncontrollable blood sugar spikes, exhausting the pancreas and worsening the condition. The truth lies in balance. People with diabetes not only can but should eat fruit daily. Fruits provide vitamins A, C, E, minerals like potassium and magnesium, and antioxidants that protect the heart, reduce inflammation, and prevent diabetes complications. The fiber in fruit acts as a natural filter, slowing sugar absorption and preventing sudden blood sugar spikes. The key is how you eat fruit. Endocrinologists recommend eating whole fruits instead of juicing them. Most fiber is in the skin and flesh, and juicing removes this vital barrier, allowing sugar to rush into the blood. Additionally, choose low-sugar, low-glycemic index fruits like apples, pears, grapefruit, dragon fruit, strawberries, or blueberries. High-sugar fruits like ripe mangoes, durians, jackfruit, lychees, or grapes should be limited, as they can cause a sugar surge in the blood. Timing is also crucial. Never eat fruit on an empty stomach, as sugar is absorbed rapidly, like a dam breaking and flooding the bloodstream. The best approach is to eat fruit after a main meal, when the stomach already has a buffer of vegetables and protein, allowing fruit sugar to enter the blood slowly. A study from the University of Sydney, Australia, found that diabetes patients eating an apple or a piece of grapefruit after a meal had far more stable blood sugar than those eating fruit on an empty stomach. Thus, the issue isn't fruit itself, but how you incorporate it. By choosing the right fruits, eating them whole instead of juicing, and timing consumption correctly, fruit transforms from an enemy into a valuable friend, providing nutrients, protecting blood sugar, and helping you live healthier and more confidently each day. We've explored 6 nutrition tips that may seem small but wield immense power in breaking type 2 diabetes. Eating in the right order, starting with a vegetarian appetizer, having a savory breakfast, eating slowly and dividing meals, using natural vinegar, and eating fruit correctly. Each tip is a piece of the puzzle, forming a complete picture of a healthy lifestyle that protects the pancreas and keeps blood sugar in check. But here's an unexpected detail. These tips don't just stabilize blood sugar, they also slow the body's aging process. Recent European studies show that stable blood sugar reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease, dementia, and joint degeneration significantly. In other words, controlling diabetes through nutrition isn't just about managing blood sugar, it's about preserving mental clarity, physical vitality, and youthful aging. This is science's unexpected gift. By changing your eating habits, you not only break diabetes, but also hold on to your youth. Dear friends, type 2 diabetes is not a lifelong sentence. It's like a two-way door. Take the wrong path, and you face dangerous complications. Take the right one, and you return to a path of health, joy, and longevity. These 6 nutrition tips are your roadmap, backed by science. The key question is, are you ready to apply them and stay committed to this path? If you find this information helpful, please take a moment to like, share this article with those who need it, and especially subscribe to the Senior Health Vista channel. Every subscription is a huge source of motivation for us to continue delivering high-quality, insightful, and valuable health content to the community. Let's walk this journey together, so each day we live healthier, happier, and more at peace.